These are the things that I love about my 2022 E-Transit van. This is Ford's all-electric cargo van, and I've owned it for more than 3 months and put about 2,000 miles on it so far. Now, I'm not an expert at cars, and I'm not an expert at van life either, but I'm going to give it my best shot to talk about the things that I like. It's also a brand new car, and I've never owned a brand new car in my life. And of course, there's a lot of fun, cool things that some people might find basic, but I think are really cool and worth mentioning. So the obvious first thing I love about this car is that it is electric, and that's the most important thing, the most important reason about why I bought it, because I'm just excited about electric cars and all the technology that come along with them. So it's really fun. Like, the driving experience is fun as well. It's cool because you're not spending as much gas as you would otherwise, especially when it comes to larger vehicles and cargo van type vehicles. Number 2 is the driving experience. Now, I have owned a B250 Dodge cargo van, and any of those types of like large cargo vans, it just feels like you're driving around a submarine or like an armored tank or something. But with this van, the driving experience is so cool. It feels like you're driving a spaceship because you don't hear an engine. It's not too heavy because I don't have a lot of stuff in it, so it's like very responsive, and it just feels like you're driving a spaceship because it's so huge. The front windshield, it's really huge as well. So the driving experience is really fun. The other cool features that are maybe not so cool, like if you're used to newer cars, but which I think are extremely cool, is the auto windshield wiper blades and the auto high beams. There's also a lane keeping assist, which is pretty neat. And then there's a bunch of safety features as well. For example, because it is electric, when you take your foot off the pedals, it'll have a little warning indicator telling you that, you know, your foot's not on the brake or your foot's not on the gas. Sometimes it's too sensitive and it'll pop up for like seemingly no reason. For example, when you're at a stoplight and you're ready to go, you take your foot off the brake and you're just going to hit the acceleration to go in the green light, and then that little safety notification will pop up, and it's a little bit annoying, but it's also just a safety feature, of course. So I think all those safety features are pretty cool. There's also an app that you can use to lock and unlock the doors, track your charging. There is a Wi-Fi device in the actual vehicle, but I have not used it, nor I didn't even try to use it because it's a paid service, I think. But yeah, it's there. And then the app itself is pretty cool to use. I think it's most useful to track your charging status and your previous charging history. You could also remote start the vehicle through the app, but I haven't tried that before, but it's there. The last 2 things I love about this van are there's this thing called an e-heat feature. So I have not tested it yet, but it says that it is a feature to heat the main cabin, and I'm guessing it comes from the way that they engineered the battery bank. So the battery bank is like right down here in the main cabin area, and it's rather large, and I suppose they engineered it in some way that it will produce heat in the actual main large cabin area. So that's going to be cool, and I'm going to test it out pretty soon in the winter. And then lastly is the entertainment center. There's a large screen that controls all of the entertainment and climate control and things like that, the navigation. I find it pretty useful and cool. My dogs sometimes hit the buttons. It's that responsive and sensitive. And yeah, so far I like it. No complaints, really. Okay, so let me kind of show you and talk through a little tiny bit more detail what I'm talking about. I'm going to turn on the van now. and it is plugged in and charging. So this is the main dash, and the center part here gives a bunch of notifications. These ones here saying the doors are left open. It's also plugged in and charging, but the main things, this navigation, you can turn it to different things. But if I were to put my foot on the brake and change this into reverse or anything, well, actually it won't let me change it into reverse until I shut the doors. So let me do that. Actually, it won't let me go until I unplug it. That's another safety feature. So let me turn that off. Okay, now with the car unplugged, the door's shut, I'm going to put my foot on the brake, turn it to reverse. Wait, what? It's not turning on yet. Let's restart it because it might think it's still plugged in. There it goes. Okay, now it's letting me change the drive to reverse. When it's on reverse, the backup cam will pop up, which is useful. And if I let go of the brake, I'm going to reverse. And say I'm stopping and I'm going to turn to drive. When I release the brake, it's going to drive forward. So here is the e-heat feature I talked about. It just says this. It's an electric heater used to warm the cabin and keep the windows from fogging. It saves battery power, which extends your driving range. It's the only source of heat to warm the cabin. So I've usually just had that off and use climate control. With this button, it goes up and down. Powering it with these buttons. I can slide it down to off. I can use it in auto mode. I could also turn off auto mode by I think changing the temperature here. No. Turn off auto mode by manually turning the fan level, and then control the temperature there. Most of the time I am controlling the climate control by pushing that, or else just changing the temperature like this or like this. Okay, so I was just trying to drive around to show the way that the notifications, the safety notifications about having no foot on either pedal works, but it's not really popping up. But you did see the one about being in neutral. It has a neutral mode where you could push the L button and then exit the vehicle and keep it in neutral. And right now it's just telling me to put my seatbelt on. So this is the whole entertainment screen. It's maybe like 8 inches by 10 or something like that. The screen is I think it's pretty simple to use. There's Apple CarPlay. There's some occasions where my iPhone doesn't sync up too well, so I'll turn off the car and then turn it on again, and then it will sync. There's a built-in navigation with the service to have that Wi-Fi enabled navigation, I think, but I don't use it too much. I usually just use my phone. The sound system's pretty sweet too. So yeah, that's kind of it. This is just a quick and informal review video. I'm gonna do a more formal one that's longer in length, and I'll talk more about everything. But again, I'm not a car person too much. I'm more of an opportunist, and I'm trying to build this into a camper van, as you can see. But I hope this is helpful. If you have specific questions about this van, like a specific feature or something you want me to review, just let me know. I talked about things that I like. It's a cool car. It's a brand new car, which is always fun. And what I'm going to be doing is traveling long distance in it pretty soon here. And that'll be a whole nother type of thing to talk about. So thanks for watching. Bye!